from the news center in high definition, this is News Channel 8 on your side at 6.
Good evening, I'm Keith Kate.
I'm Gail Sierens. Thank you for joining us this evening. These Bay Area condos are fairly new and falling apart. They're covered with mold, springing leaks, and many of the balconies are falling off. These are all part of the same condo complex. Since we first told you about this story last week, the number of units deemed unsafe by Manatee County has climbed to 20. Tonight, 8 on your side, Shannon Binkin takes us inside the walls of one of these Lakewood Ranch condos and shows why one contractor says this problem is much bigger than just a rickety balcony.
I felt that they were in danger, and I still feel people are in danger.
Boards not nailed down, hurricane straps missing, mold deep within the walls. Contractor Michael Hamilton says he was shocked to discover this is how KB Home built this condo.
In my opinion, as a general contractor, and from the codes that I know, and from the way things are done, this is just a major, major, major problem.
Residents in the Willowbrook community of Lakewood Ranch say they've complained for years about leaks, but the builder did only Band-Aid repairs. Recent storms sent parts of balconies crashing to the ground.
If this was a car, this would go under the lemon law.
Manatee County building inspectors are investigating and say so far 20 of the condos are unsafe because the balconies are unstable. But Hamilton, hired last year by a homeowner wanting to know why her condo had so many problems, says the balconies are the least of the concern. He took 8 on your side for an exclusive tour of the condo and a look at what he found when he ripped down the drywall.
If you hadn't taken this apart, if you had not taken the drywall off, would anybody know what's behind these walls?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The idea is to nail it every 6 inches. That's the code. Now, that would be on every 2x4 every 6 inches. Do you think this one's been nailed? All the 2x4s, top and bottom, are supposed to have a strap in here, a hurricane strap, especially at this elevation. This is the 3rd floor. If you have a wind on the ground floor of 100, it'd probably be 120 up here.
Willowbrook homeowners say they've lived in construction zones for years and they want KB to buy back their homes. But KB says no, they'll repair the homes.
Can they fix it? Are these units fixable?
In my opinion, the only way this can be fixed is to totally gut the interior.
Hamilton says all the bad wood has to go. The windows need to be reset, the floors relaid, and the kitchens reinstalled. It would cost less, he says, to rebuild from scratch.
I have no dog in this fight. I have nothing to gain. I drove here to meet you, and I came about 50 miles out of my way to meet with you. That's how important it is to me, because I feel people are at risk.
I emailed the inspection report on this condo to KB and asked him about the findings, but KB had no response. The builder did send me a statement that it is repairing the homes and trying to work something out with the Homeowners Association.
Well, but we just heard from this contractor who took a good look at it. It basically said it's just too expensive to repair. What does KB have to say about that?
Well, they're not really saying anything about it, and that's one of the many questions that I have for them, and I'm hoping that soon we can get some answers from them. But so far, the residents say that they don't want the repairs that KB's offering because they want their houses bought back.
And then there is obviously the question of the inspections of these homes by the county to begin with, correct? By the inspectors.
And that's something we will be looking at shortly.
All right. First they had leaks, then some found out they had mold. Now many of the homeowners in the Willowbrook neighborhood near Lakewood Ranch are learning their hands may be tied legally. A clause in their contract with the builder, KB Home, restricts their legal options. And as 8 on your side, Shannon Binkin shows us, if you bought a new home in recent years, you may have the same clause.
I've lost everything, even sold my car, lost everything.
When Roxanne Miller's new condo sprung a leak, she called her builder, KB Home. After what she calls Band-Aid patchwork, she threatened to sue, but found out she can't.
It breaks my heart. I cry a lot. I paid cash for this house. This is my dream home. And they've destroyed me financially, physically, and emotionally.
About 60 homeowners in the Willowbrook neighborhood complain of leaks, mold, and collapsing balconies. Manatee County building inspectors say 21 of the homes are unsafe. The residents say the problems go much further than balconies, but their sales contract restricts their legal recourse.
We can't litigate because we're under arbitration under our contracts, where our hands are tied.
So far, Miller is the only one to go forward with arbitration. Others say her story convinced them it's a waste of time. Miller, who ended up tearing out drywall to prove mold and construction errors, actually won her case, but the damages awarded don't cover the repairs. And that's after spending her life savings on her legal fight. The homeowners who signed this contract say they had no idea about the clause, but it turns out a lot of builders include similar contracts. They just don't tell their customers. Consumer attorney Eric Seidel says that's usually not good news for the buyer.
An arbitration clause always puts the consumer at a disadvantage because, number one, you're taking away, or at least giving away, your right to your day in court before either a jury of your peers or a judge, and instead replacing that with somebody that the company thinks would be good to decide the case.
Seidel recommends home buyers try to negotiate with builders to drop the clause. Otherwise, when the unthinkable happens, you may be stuck.
George, hey, good morning, Shannon. Good to see you.
For weeks, we've tried to get answers from KB Home as to why Willowbrook homeowners are living with mold, leaks, and balconies that are falling apart. George Glantz, the regional president of KB, has declined our repeated interview request. But when he toured Willowbrook to plan repairs, we caught up with him.
Okay, what about the people who say that they've had these Band-Aid repairs for years and nothing's happened and it's still leaking?
Well, I can't speak to, hearsay who said what. What we're doing out here right now is we have our experts here, we have our details, and we're going to work.
Manatee County government says more than 30 of these condos are unsafe, and a contractor tells 8 on Your Side numerous building codes weren't followed. And the shoddy construction complaints don't end in Willowbrook.
We've heard from people in Riverview, Gibsonton, Palm River, Clearwater, here. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm not sure who you've heard from, and I'm not sure what the specific issue was, but
they're all saying the same thing: mold, leaks. They see this story and they say, that's my house.
Then give us a call. We'll come take care of it.
But the people we've interviewed say they have called. They've been told to go away. Well, they've been told this isn't their warranty.
What they said, again, an individual, I can't speak exactly to what they said.
We've heard from dozens of homeowners in 3 counties who say KB told them they're on their own.
So even in the cases where you've told people that their warranty doesn't cover the damage, you're telling me that you'll take another look at it?
Well, first of all, I haven't heard that. I mean, I don't know if that's speculation. I don't know. I have to see the specific claim. Send us the claim. We'll go out and fix it.
So I should tell these people to resubmit it?
Absolutely.
After our interview, resident Armando Oola Delgado took the opportunity to vent.
Mr. Glantz, at this point, because of builders like you, is why we need a lemon law in Florida.
Delgado says he doesn't trust KB to repair his home, not after the company ripped out his balcony more than a year ago and didn't come back.
If you'd like to walk in my garage and see the mold that's growing off the ceilings, let's be productive. I'm living in this condition. I'm moving out today because your company has failed to do anything about it.
KB started these repairs yesterday, even though many of the residents don't want the builder on their property. Since Willowbrook is a condominium, the balconies and the buildings are owned by the Homeowners Association. These repairs are part of a deal between that association and KB.
Now, you mentioned that many of the homeowners don't want KB in their homes, so how can these repairs take place?
Well, they can get to the outside of the balconies and the outside of the buildings and replace the stucco, but to repair anything on the inside, they're going to have the cooperation of these homeowners, and that's really tricky because many of these homeowners are insisting that KB buy back their houses.
Certainly a difficult situation. All right, thank you very much, Shannon.
Homeowners in the Willowbrook condominium community in Bradenton say their condos were constructed so poorly they're beyond repair. They complain of mold and rotting wood, and Manatee County has deemed many of these homes unsafe. The residents blame their builder, KB Home, and say for years they've received only Band-Aid fixes. 8 on Your Side has heard from unhappy KB homeowners in 11 communities, and the builder insists it doesn't buy homes back. But News Channel 8's Shannon Binkin uncovered records from San Antonio, Texas, that show that wasn't always the case when it comes to construction complaints.
After years of what Willowbrook residents call Band-Aid repairs that led to collapsing balconies, KB Home says it's now serious about fixing these condos. KB workers show up daily, but they're running into homeowners who won't accept anything less than a buyback.
And I say no. You need to buy back my home, and I'm done with this.
But KB says that's unreasonable. Regional President George Glantz is adamant there's no chance the builder will buy back any of the Willowbrook condos.
We are not going to buy back any homes. I stand here before you representing KB Home, ready, willing, and able to start these repairs.
But in our 8 on Your Side investigation, I found property records that show that's not how it's always been. The builder bought back homes in San Antonio, Texas's Northampton and Terra West neighborhoods in the mid-2000s. Residents there had similar complaints as those in Willowbrook.
Okay, here we're in the living room. As you can see, the wall separating from the ceiling, you can actually see the wood underneath the sheetrock.
Like Willowbrook's residents, those in Texas tried to shame the builder into buying back their homes. They complained of soggy soil that damaged foundations, cracks in the homes, and leaks. Even the city's mayor called on KB to buy back houses. But how many homes were bought back? Homeowners tell us hundreds.
So we wanted to know why these homeowners in Texas were treated differently. I emailed KB Home today, but the company didn't answer that question. Instead, they sent us this statement. KB Home remains committed to making the repairs to the homes in Willowbrook, which we believe is in the best interest of all of our homeowners and the community.
So it certainly sounds like this Texas neighborhood had very similar complaints to all the ones you've been telling us about the folks here. So what did these homeowners do to convince KB Home to buy their homes back?
Well, they pretty much did everything that the Willowbrook homeowners did. They talked to the media, they protested, they contacted their state senators. They did all of the same things. The only thing different so far, Gail, is that it took years for this to happen in San Antonio.
Just have to believe somewhere someone is going to intervene and make this happen because it is a mess. All right, thank you.